No position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome to College Park, Maryland, SECU Stadium, better known as the Snake Pit and home of the Terps. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the NC State Wolfpack, taking on last year's national champions, the Maryland Terrapins. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Terrapins will put total leather to crank us up. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. To the ground for the back. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going, handing the ball off.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, it's Green. He's moving out of the pocket. Going to try to get it himself. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking.
Man, I've been there before. It's the opening drive of the game. You're trying to scramble, make something happen, and you get absolutely lit up. Man, that cold tub, that can't come soon enough. Bad news, though, is you've got an entire game to play.
They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Leaves it with the running back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
NC State with a lot of ground to cover after losing yardage on the last play. From the gun, running back gets to give.
You see, this is what great defenses do. Great defenses swarm to the football. So when you do miss a tackle, it's not the end of the world. There's another guy right there to wrap him up. Great defenses seem like they got 12 guys on the field. Nice job swarming to the football, engulfing the running back.
NC State has to come up with a big play on 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. You can really set the tone for what's possible in your season in early season showdowns like this, both in the top 10 and both with the loftiest of goals.
This one's fun too, David, because we had this game circled in the offseason. We knew this was going to be a really good matchup early, and we're going to find out the answers to a lot of questions we have about both these teams.
Well, and sometimes it's hard to figure that out, right? Like, you don't get till mid-season, you're like, oh, they haven't played anybody. Out the gates, 2 top 10 teams, we get to find out really quickly who's legit.
Quarterback making adjustments. The give on the inside. Picks up the first down, still moving. He's loose down the middle.
This offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. NC State sending the offense back onto the field. Finding themselves down 7-0. They'd love to get a drive going here. To throw, it's Hill. Here's the pressure. Grabbed over the middle, it's Reeder. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Looking to fire. Hauls it in. Gets it out to the 38-yard line after picking up 10 on that one.
Well, the defense did a nice job taking everything away down the field, but once the drag route was caught, they just couldn't rally to the ball carrier in time to make a tackle, and as a result, new set of downs.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Wants to go up top on first down. A spectacular one-hand grab. And there was lots of space as he gets it to the 39-yard line.
Can we just talk about how ridiculous of a catch that was? That was unbelievable. The receiver just sticks his paw out, snags the ball. That is incredible hand strength.
Wolfpack will have 1st and 10. They'll move the wide receiver. From the gun, running back on the move. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. Wants to throw. It's Green. Grabs it in the middle. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
Love the location of the throw on that slant pass. Put it out in front of the receiver. Put it on his face mask so he can catch it and try to advance.
Just outside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 21. To the air on first down. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
What a nice answer by this defense. You give up the big play, you respond right back, you get the sack, create some momentum for your side. Nice job by this defense staying with it.
The Wolfpack put themselves in a hole here on second down. Out of the gun, the inside give. Finds a crease at the 20. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
And I know it's not a first down, but I still like the way they ran the football here. Just try to make the next third down manageable. Try to get it where it's not as predictable. I think the offense did a really good job being smart there, taking what the defense gave them.
NC State needs to take advantage of this red zone trip. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. And they can't make the connection on third down, but hold everything. There is a flag. Let's see what that's about. And they'll stop him about 5 yards short of the first. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Got his man quickly. And they'll make the stop, and we are headed to the end of the first period. We've come to the end of the quarter, and Maryland has the lead. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Back to throw, it's Hill. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
This pass rush is serious, man. When you watch them on film, they do a nice job in the back end, taking away all the throws downfield. He's trying to get to his check down, but that pressure, it gets to him, and the hit forced the incomplete.
A third and long here. They can pick up the first down without getting the touchdown. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it and still on his feet. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
Deep to shallow. That's what I have to understand that as a defensive guy. I take away those passes beyond the sticks, and then I react to those quick throws they have to the running back. It's my athlete versus yours. The defense won that battle.
They'll try to move the chains on fourth down. NC State comes to the line. Going for the marker on the ground. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Wolfpack!
And what a push up front by this offensive line. Everyone playing in unison, driving out of their stance, working into the second level, hats on hats, creating a lane for that running back.
And he splits the uprights on the extra point. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Week in and week out, guys, you never know what's going to happen in college football. Check this out. South Carolina is ahead in Columbia, but that's not exactly George Rogers out there scoring touchdowns. This game is a long way from being over. They're up by 10 over Arizona. This one has actually kind of exceeded expectations. Always a memorable chapter in the book of college football.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. Then that last drive, if you want to call it that, was efficient. One big run for a score, David. See if they can do it again.
Yeah, and I find it hard-pressed they're not going to give it right back to him. You break that long of a run, get a touchdown, Jesse, I'm assuming he's going to touch it again.
You're absolutely right, David. Everybody in this stadium, I think, is expecting him to get it again, too. Big-time players make big plays in big games. Let's see what he can do here.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Trying to turn the corner on the left. Not a lot of daylight. He gets one to the 32.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
And the Terrapins come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. He'll go out of bounds right at the 40-yard line as this offense continues to show great patience. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one, but we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be. You got that bond and that trust.
Wants to adjust the pattern. To the air, it's Dyer. Here's a heat. And the defense gets home. Yippee-ki-yay at the 35.
Yeah, and the quarterback didn't have a chance. I mean, when you get to the QB that fast, Jesse, you're still processing information, for goodness sakes.
And you're getting to the sideline whenever this drive is over, and you're asking for help from your offensive coordinator. You're asking, hey, can we slide our offensive line and help out blocking this guy? Can I get a tight end to stay in, maybe get a chip on this dude? Because I'm not feeling too comfortable right now back there knowing that we're trying to only block him with one guy.
The Terrapins are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Shotgun snap, wants to throw it on 3rd. With the catch, it's Howard. Lowers those pads. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance. They've built this offense around finding mismatches and just get the ball to the back and let him do his thing.
Yeah, it didn't have to be long down the field. Like it threw it right near the line of scrimmage, but you know I got a guy, when he gets in space, he can make big plays happen. Nice decision by the QB.
Finds his tight end. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Man, nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
Offense about to reel off its 7th play of the drive. They'll run it from the gun. Got the first down and still on his feet. The chunk plays that they love, and he takes it all the way down to the 10.
What a run. Great speed, great vision, elusiveness, and David, he's tackled down close to the goal line.
Yeah, and this offense, when you can run the football like this, man, you will have success, especially in the red zone, trying to get touchdowns.
And the Terrapins will snap it on 1st and 10. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. On the move. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Terrapins!
And that is exactly what you want from your offense. Man, late in the half, you want to execute and then punch it in physically on the ground. Take the lead going into the half. Take all the momentum. Nice execution on the drive by that offense.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. They marched 79 yards on the drive, and he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play first snap of the drive from the 25. Wide receiver comes in motion. This quarterback part of their running game. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And this offense on first down, man, they go backwards. And they've built a deficit, and they've been sluggish. And they just need something to get going, to get started, because they've kind of looked out of sorts and out of rhythm this whole game.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. To the air, it's Green. Good timing on the quick out. They get him stopped and out of bounds at the 45-yard line, and the big play has this offense ready to mount a threat. And so you got a guy who makes a play downfield like that. How anxious do you think they're going to be to continue in man coverage?
Yeah, I don't know, Reese. They're going to need a plan. They're going to maybe want to think about more zone coverage or maybe even bracketing this running back if he decides to come out of the backfield, because right now they don't seem to have an answer for him.
Looking to throw on first down. Skips away from pressure. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
This pass rush is real, man. They force the quarterback, they flush him out to the left, and he's trying to scramble around, find an open guy. They still are able to get a hit on him, and that forces the incompletion.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. It's a draw, and he's very fortunate to get it back to the line of scrimmage, greeted by a sea of defenders.
Well, they're trying to get that run play going to the outside, but it's the defensive end who does a great job winning his one-on-one and forcing the negative play.
NC State has work to do to convert this third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And the QB leaves the pocket, and he scrambles out, and he goes to his right. And I love how he keeps his eyes down the field, trying to make a play, trying to throw the football, but the relentless chase, I love it. Getting to the quarterback. He throws an inaccurate pass because he gets whacked as he throws the football. Nice job chasing by the defense.
Punt is in the air on fourth down. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. Looking to throw, it's Dyer. He tries to take the top off. Pulls it in on the left. Here he goes. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Maryland!
And that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas. Try to make this a two-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the second half to get some stops.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? They'll start this drive going to the air. On the move to the right and looking for a big one. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And for a defense, it's not always about sacks, but sometimes it's about getting that quarterback off his spot where he feels very comfortable, and they get him flushed outside of the pocket. And good perimeter defense. He rolls to the right. Everybody's still covering their guys, moving across the field with the QB. Nowhere to go with the football.
Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. He can't find his man, and the clock stops with 6 seconds left.
This is going to be a tough situation for the offense here. Late in the first half, they're trying to find a way to generate some points before going into the locker room, but the defense is ready for it. So the windows are not going to be very big, especially when you're trying to attack vertically like they did on that last one. Downfield completions are going to be tough to come by.
Looking downfield, it's Hill. Fires left. Pass falls incomplete, and there are still 3 seconds left.
Well, man, I mean, you don't get more wide open than that, right? Big fella running down the field, nobody near him. Quarterback puts it on him. Just got to make the catch.
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. NC State will kick off to start things here in the second half. He'll return it. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. If it's working, why change it? And that running game was working in the first half. I imagine we'll see a lot more of it here in the third quarter.
And you just know the offensive line was telling their coordinator, put this on us. Let us continue to go out there, push these guys around. We can put this game on our back and end this thing by running the ball.
And this is a manhood question for this defense. Like, as a defensive lineman, and you're pounding the rock, like, I got to physically rise to this challenge. This defense has to play more inspired and more physical in the second half.
The Terrapins now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. They shut it down quickly, but he gets 2 out to the 18.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
That is a good omen for this defense. They were getting lit up in the first half. They knew something had to change. So to set the tone like this early on their opening drive of the third quarter and get a stop on 3rd, that should really help their confidence.
And the Terrapins line up to punt it away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. North Carolina State has it back in the offense, headed to the field. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. Oh, he's got some space. A huge play there, and they finally get him out of bounds at the 37. The Wolfpack, after that big play on the ground, might just run it until they stop it.
And that's the beauty of this offense and this playmaker at wide receiver. Throw the ball short, but what he does after the catch, he's just got so much speed, so dynamic with the football. And this is why they get it to him short, because he can take it to the house or make a big play on any reception.
Might as well give it to him again. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
And he drops it just a little too slippery in the hands.
Well, the receiver getting a little ahead of himself on that one. You saw him calling for the ball. He thought he was wide open. He thought that was going to be an easy catch. The ball finally gets to him, and he drops it. If you're going to call for the ball like that and call your shot, you've got to secure the catch.
Dropping back, it's Green. The quick out. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one.
Well, that's one the DB, I think, would like to have back. Out route, he was in man coverage. If he could have just got out of his break a little bit sooner, he might have had a chance to intercept that one and take it to the house.
With a double-digit deficit here in the second half, they're going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes a grab past the marker. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, North Carolina State.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. And listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Tulane is getting smoked today. This is an eye-opener. It's the type of game that can just demoralize a fan base. They're trailing by 14 to Iowa State. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Finds the tight end.
And we haven't called his name a lot, and I think this offense, they need to find a way to continue to manufacture touches for the big tight end. And I don't care how you do it. I don't care where you line him up. He's that good, and if I'm this offense, I'm going to find him more often.
Got room to work. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success. But on that play, really downhill, really physical, and a nice job getting him to the ground.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
This game just feels so different than it did in the first half. After that incompletion, now setting up 4th down, they only have a 1-possession lead. Things were looking so much better earlier in the game. They're going to have to get it together throwing the football if they want to win this game.
The Terrapins will try to convert on 4th down. Might be changing the route. They're throwing for it on 4th down. Fires to the right. Caught near the sideline, it's Willis. Across the 50 and knocked out of bounds at the 48. An explosive play gets this offense working. And the Terrapins getting set on 1st and 10. Going with the ground game left. Turning it on. Just carving up this defense and getting it down to the 24.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Back to pass, it's Dyer. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
I think he's showing you his experience on that decision right there. There was nothing open, so don't try to force it into coverage. You've got the lead. If it's not there, just throw it away. The head coach loves to see his quarterback make that kind of decision.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. He's going to run it. Great job by this savvy senior to know when he just needs to move the sticks with his feet.
Well, he does a really nice job buying time, and I love the awareness there, understanding no one's open downfield, knowing where the sticks are, and he's able to use his athleticism to get that first down.
The Terrapins have it with a first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. They keep pushing forward, now back to work on second and goal from the 6. Grab behind the line. It's Willis.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
We've reached the break. It's Maryland with the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. Quarterback may change this route. Wants to fire it in the end zone on third and goal. Big guy smells it. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Terrapins! They add on to this lead, and it looks as if they'll be moving to 2-0.
And, man, a lot of times late in games, you see offenses, they get very conservative, very predictable, and then they leave it in the hands of their defense. I like this execution, man. The offense continues to do what they do, and they take the 2-score lead in the fourth quarter, everything going in their direction.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. NC State sending the offense back onto the field. They're in a precarious spot here. That lofty perch in the rankings, hanging in the balance unless they can do something to save themselves here. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5.
And after that run, getting right back up to the line of scrimmage to go hurry up, defense has to be ready.
Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. NC State quick to the line.
And I think that's what you want to see from this offense down the stretch. Like, can you physically dominate the game? You've got the lead. Now run the football, eat clock, continue to feed your dude.
This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the first down.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage and getting...
There he goes! Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
Well, this offense is going to try and grind their way to a win now, and they're going to start force-feeding this guy the football, too. He's made a few plays earlier in this game, but now in the fourth quarter, it's about force-feeding him, getting some push up front, and just icing this thing.
To the air, it's Hill. Dumps it to the back. Grabbed in the middle, it's Reeder. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains, it's at the 22.
And this offense is going to have to be aggressive, right? Down a couple possessions, got to continue to get these first downs, move quick, don't be in a hurry, but they've got to keep the accelerator down because they need some explosive plays.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
They're dealing with a second and long. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
You got to love what you've seen from the defense in this game, too. They knew coming into this one against this quarterback, being as talented as he is, they were going to have to be really good in coverage on the back end, and that's been the case all game long. They have never let it be easy for this quarterback.
The Wolfpack with lots of ground to cover on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Shoots it to the left. And is incomplete on third down.
Really nice third down sub-defense there that time. It's third and long. They're expecting pass, and they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback, and now forcing the incompletion, setting up fourth.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Under fire. Deep shot for the end zone. Incomplete on fourth down, and man, did they need to keep that drive alive.
Obviously, they fail on that fourth down, but because there's still time on the clock, this game's not over. Who on defense right now can step up and make a big play and get the ball back to the offense?
Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working, Dave.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe blitz, mess up this rhythm they got going.
Smart move to keep it on the ground. Breaks into the open. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44.
Really been impressed by the balance we've seen from this offense so far in the game, but I think you got to give a lot of the credit to the running game because it's been able to freeze these defenses, help set up play action. They've been physical at the point of attack. I think that really has been the key force for this offense so far, having the success they've had.
Give to the back. Inside the 45. Slips one guy, now he's loose. No one there to stop him. It's the fella in the striped shirt who threw the penalty flag. This one might be coming back. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the fourth. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Gets the back moving. Looking to pass. It's Green. Oh, he's going to take a shot at the DB. Snatches it on the right. Off and running. Touchdown, NC State. He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
The one thing you know about this offense, they're going to keep fighting, right? They're down on the scoreboard right now, but they're trying everything they can. Nice job there, finding a way to score that touchdown. And listen, we've seen crazier things happen before in college football. This thing ain't over until there's zeros on the clock.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Fellas, week to week, you just never know, which is why we're here with an update. South Carolina has the lead right now, but this Williams-Brice crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. They're up by just 2 over Arizona. We'll circle back if anything big happens you need to know about.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Toss sweep right. Finding open areas. Got the first down and more. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain. If they get this one to the finish line behind this powerful running game, landmark moment, guys, to win a top 10 showdown this early in the season.
Yeah, and just proving why I'm the higher-ranked team, right? Like proving my ranking, building my case throughout the season. This is a great one to put on the ledger. This will be one that the playoff committee will be looking on down the road. A big top 10 win early in the season.
David, I think they're also serving notice to the rest of the teams on their schedule. I mean, they're watching this game right now early in the year, and they're saying, man, these dudes run the football. We better buckle up and we play these guys.
Looking for a chunk play on 2nd and short. Those two not on the same page. It's incomplete.
You know, the defense just hasn't seemed to quite have an answer. They've come close to interceptions like that one there, but they haven't registered any so far. They've given up a few touchdown passes. They're just not quite able to make the plays they need to against the pass in this game.
And the Terrapins come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Running into the open space. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
Man, this offense would really like to lean on this guy in the 4th quarter, right? They've got the lead, and you just saw his ability there, breaking a tackle. He looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on. I'd expect him to get a few more carries here before this game's over.
They're going to ride this running back. Got the first down and more. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
It's got to be tough right now on defense. You need to find a way to get a stop, and you haven't been able to do that in the 4th quarter. You've been giving up points. You just gave up a touchdown in the last drive. You need a turnover. You need to do something right now to stop this momentum.
And he is stopped at the line of scrimmage. Clock is all zeros, and time has expired here. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected. A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Like, everybody's doubting us. Nobody thinks we can win. It's really easy to motivate that type of squad. They played motivated. They played a little ticked off. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the excitement, the adrenaline, the